Keyshawn.
Damn.
You said K.
I didn't say no
Jay,
Keyshawn.
what did he
Every
say?
kiss begins with K.
You said Kayshawn.
That's what happened.
I swear. What did you hear, Jay?
I heard
Jay.
Kayshawn Key.
I heard Kayshawn too.
You know what? He mad. Only
No,
because I set him up on the last poll.
no,
That's all.
no,
That's
no,
it.
no,
Get back.
no.
That's how we gonna do? Is that how we gonna be today?
Jay said
Is
it
that
at
what we
the
gonna do?
exact same time. I said,
Brian,
I'm like,
I'm
Brian.
trying to tell you, man, it's an ongoing issue with our show. You can't have the guy whose name is number one at the top of the show and keep calling him Kayshawn.
By the way,
Like, you've been around them folks too long, man.
I'm just saying.
Come on, man.
Our ESPN NFL reporter, Jeff Darlington, he joins us right now. Hey, Jeff, let me ask you something, Jeff. What did you hear?
What's up, Kayshawn?
See?
What's up, Kayshawn?
Told you, right, Jeff?
Get him, Jeff.
Kayshawn, man.
Get him,
God.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Y'all gonna do me like that,
Hey,
man.
I learned a long time ago. I just agree with Keyshawn. Whatever Keyshawn thinks he heard, that's what
It's
I
like
heard
that
too.
now.
Okay.
It's bully ball here this
Yeah, I'm
morning,
sorry.
early this
Yes, it
morning.
I'll sell
Yes, it
everybody.
is.
I'll sell everybody under the ship to make sure that I stay on Keyshawn's good side.
Oh, is that what it is? You got them
Smart
trained
man.
too, don't you,
Smart
Keith?
man, Jeff.
You got these guys trained up in here. Jeff Darlington joins us here on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. All right, so let's get into this, Jeff, because listen, I was tripping when I think it was last week, and you were on the network, and you said it was really close that Tom Brady could have been playing for another team in that division and the Saints. And I was like, man, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, by the time it got down to the Bucks, it was definitely steering in that direction that week of free agency. But Drew Brees, behind the scenes, was still contemplating a broadcasting career. And if he had retired, yeah, I believe Tom Brady actually would have ended up with the Saints. But that being said, he's still, there were other teams in the mix as well. Like the Chargers were down to the wire with him. The Raiders were a team that pulled out just shortly before. There were other teams. The 49ers were a team that was interested early on, but kind of got out of the mix pretty early. But the Saints were actually among the teams at the very end that were still wondering, okay, is Drew definitely coming back? And if he's not, they were definitely headed in the direction of Tom Brady.
So, Jeff, and you, look, I've learned my lesson on you and Tom Brady. Did Tom
We've
have
really come a long way, Key.
did Tom have extensive talks with the Saints, or is this just one of those deals where it's like sit tight, hold on, or was there ongoing conversations to a point where it was 24 hours prior to him signing with the Bucks type situation?
Well, don't forget that he signed right at the beginning of free agency. So, there's a 2-day window of discussions that can happen without tampering, that non-tampering period. So, make of it what you will in terms of the teams that were interested in Tom before he was actually a free agent and how, in fact, they came to that interest. It sure seems like conversations would have been had, but I know nothing about them because, of course, that would be tampering.
Yeah, no, that's true. Let's stay with a quarterback in the NFC out west. And Steve Kimes, the general manager of the Arizona Cardinals, and you saw it, Jeff, talked about building a team, a championship-winning team, while a young quarterback is still on his rookie deal. Now, me personally, I think it's just I don't believe in any of that salary cap stuff because you can sign who you want to sign and pay who you want to pay when you want to do it, no matter what the salary cap says. It's all funny money. But he believes that they have to start winning and signing guys right now while Kyler Murray is on his rookie deal. What's the potential long-term future of Kyler Murray with the Arizona Cardinals?
Yeah, Keyshawn, I agree with you to an extent. I think the responsible organizations that try to build toward the future without putting too much, dead cap space in their future or trading away their picks, I think they do have to take advantage of a young quarterback on a rookie deal. I'm not saying that you can't make moves when you feel like you have a championship roster to push cash over cap, they call it, to where you can sort of make things happen in the moment to push for that championship. But like when we think about Russell Wilson, when we think about Jared Goff, when we think about some of these players that got to the Super Bowl as young quarterbacks, they did so on those rookie deals. I agree to an extent, but I also think that you also have to have the right quarterback. And the question now for Arizona is Kyler going to reach that potential? Like, I remember being at a Dolphins-Cardinals game last year where I was watching it, and you see it live, and you're like, Kyler's got it, man. He's got it. He's got that it factor. You see the way he moves. You see the way he throws live, and you're like, I absolutely think he's got it, but he's just not consistent enough yet. So, to your point, consistency comes with experience. So, like, there is like a fine line here between winning with a guy on a rookie deal and winning with a quarterback who is capable of getting you there. And that's what they have to find out if they, in fact, have that in Kyler Murray.
Jay and I have these conversations, Jay, all the time about Arizona and the Cardinals and how Jay feels about Kyler Murray versus how I feel about Kyler Murray. I believe Kyler Murray's future is tied to Cliff Kingsbury because you're asking a new coach to come in. Let's assume Cliff Kingsbury is not there beyond this season because I think his seat is going to be hot if they don't get to the playoffs. Will a new coach come in, right, Jay, and say, I want to keep Kyler Murray to run my system? Is Bill Belichick, does Bill Belichick want a Kyler Murray? Do something, you know what I'm saying? And so it's real tricky when you think about it.
Well, Jeff, I always pull for the little guy,
I mean,
and that's what Key constantly refers to Kyler Murray as, the little quarterback. But I wanted to ask you, speaking of a quarterback, how about Aaron Rodgers? Like that potential, would he actually use the COVID opt-out option?
I've been told he will not. I've been told it's not even a consideration. That really, it's not even something that, like, I know that kind of came up as, hey, maybe Aaron Rodgers could do this, and sort of now it's sort of floated into the sports atmosphere. But I've been told that is not a contemplation. In fact, I've been told that, like, it's basically the equivalent of him showing up to day one of training camp and pretending that he faked or that he has a hamstring injury. That it's just not something that most any athlete would do, and certainly not Aaron in this situation.
So what's the latest on the whole Aaron Rodgers Packers communication, Jeff?
Yeah, it feels like we're sort of in this like standoff where just no one's really having conversations, and it gets real when training camp starts, and it's a $50,000 a day fine that is unforgivable. It used to be with the CBA. A guy would hold out, and then at the end of the holdout, the team would be like, hey, by the way, we'll get rid of those fines for you, no problem. You just come on back and let's all smile and sing Kumbaya. Can't do that now. So once training camp starts, if he misses 10 days of training camp, that's $500,000. So, look, I understand he's a franchise quarterback. He makes bank, but we're talking about real money when it comes to these fines. So to me, like, we can have no conversations for now, but 10 days away from camp or so, they better be talking. Otherwise, this thing's headed in a really ugly direction.
Jeff Darlington joining us on the Goodyear Hotline. Appreciate it, Jeff. By the way.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely, thanks, bro. KJZ is presented by Progressive Insurance. I hate you, Jeff. And that was Jeff Darlington on the Goodyear Hotline. It's brought to you by Goodyear, helping you discover the road ahead. Goodyear, more driven. All right, one city is going for yet another title. But are they the new title town? So we're going to have a discussion. That's next. KJZ, ESPN Radio, ESPN News. Keyshawn.